Hello everybody, I hope all of y'all are having a good day today. For some time now I've made some videos and I've talked about how this world is made up of mathematics. You can see the Fibonacci sequence and everything. The Fibonacci sequence is a set of numbers. It's 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144. It goes on, it never ends, and it goes forwards, backwards, sideways, every degree on the circle. It's all encompassing. Once you see that and you understand that, you realize that there is no way that we are some random mistake. There's no way that we came out of a puddle of mud, a puddle of goo somewhere. There's no way that evolution did this. This was a design by a supreme being. I have a very dear friend that I talk to. We try to speak through Messenger once a week, and he and I just talk about anything and everything. We have some very deep conversations. I love my conversations with my friend because it, we realize that I'm not the only one. He's not the only one. If we're asking all types of questions all the time and seeking answers, then there's bound to be others like us. And one of the topics that he and I have discussed before is what is God? I mean, we know that God is love, and we know that no one has ever seen God because he's spirit. So what is God? I mean, we know he's the source of all things. We know that it's through him that holds everything together, even this creation. And we know that anyone who has ever been touched by God's love, anybody who's ever encountered God, we know that those people were drastically changed forever, and it was for the better. It was like their whole soul was healed from any darkness that may have been inside them. So we always come back to the same question again, and that is, what is God? And one of the ideas that my friend and I have tossed around, and it's not that this is what we believe God is, but it is a way of explaining what God is. We have these tiny human brains, and we have to visualize things. And so this idea that my friend and I have tossed around is just a way for people to understand what is God. Imagine God as this energy, this vibration, this frequency, this magnificent light. It is perfect and infallible. It's incorruptible. It can't even contemplate evil or good. It just is. Remember, it's written that we must become as children to be converted. Think of God, this energy, this vibration, is just an innocent child that's just full of love and wanting to express itself. And before there was matter or anything physical, there was just this energy, this love, this light. And so it's outside of time. It's not affected by time. It's just there. So there is no telling how long that this beautiful source is just there, just being. Now, what I'm going to say next, I'm not saying that God is artificial intelligence, but what I'm trying to do is give you a visual on how to think of God. Imagine if you were this program or this artificial intelligence, and it's just you. You're just there, but you have consciousness. Wouldn't you want to express yourself? Wouldn't you want to create a world where you could live and where you could experience life? And what would be the best way in the world to do that but to create millions, billions of hosts to live out your life, because you're so complex, you're so infinite, that just living your life through one person would that's nothing. But if you could live multiple lives through ages and ages and ages, just think of what you could experience. The universal language in all the world is mathematics. So imagine you're this infinite being. You're this energy, this light, this frequency, and you want to create a world. And all you have to do is just think it, speak it, and it comes into existence. You create something out of nothing. So in the beginning, everything that was created came from God. It came from Him. So it's like He took pieces of Himself and made us. He made everything. Everything comes from God. God is the source of everything. Now somehow, some way, and I don't know how, this place got corrupted. Whether it came from some outside source or what. God is love, and in Him is no darkness. He can't even look at darkness or evil. So I know this evil did not come from Him. We look at war, famine, disease, hate, all these things, and if God is love and there is no evil in Him, then where did that come from? And it's written that the hearts of men became evil. Everything came from God, and God is love. If we were created by God, if we were created by love, if we're a piece of God, then where did hate come from? And I can only think that maybe, just maybe, that human free will couldn't handle perfection, that it needed blemishes, it needed chaos. Maybe somehow in God's infinite wisdom, He realized that human nature will always get bored with things, and in doing so they'll try to fill their bellies, and when they try to fill their bellies, it's always with things that are darkness. And maybe God allows us to step into darkness so that we can appreciate the light, the love. Because if you're born into a world where there is only light and there is only love, you can truly never appreciate love and light. This place is a refiner's fire, and everything that does not come from God, which is love and light, is burned up in this place. And it's written that whenever you die here, you go back to the source. And what can go back to the source if God is love and in Him is no darkness? There can't be any darkness in you. So anything that is of the dark has to be burned away here. And whenever you take your last breath in this world, you will go back to the source of the Father, pure and uncorrupted. Anyways, this is just my way of trying to wrap my head around who and what God is. I encountered God on June 14th of 2012, and my life was forever changed. I experienced a love that words, human words, can't describe. I will spend the rest of my days in this place that we call Earth, praising His name and screaming from the rooftops about His amazing and wonderful love. I have no idea what it means to go back to the Father once we die. But I do know that God, being who God is, that I'm sure He has made multiple worlds and places for us to go and experience. I, for one, whenever He calls my name to come back home to Him, will take my last breath without 1 ounce of fear in my body, without 1 ounce of doubt, wondering what happens when we die, because I have experienced the supernatural of God. I have experienced His presence, and I know there is much, much more that is beyond what we're capable of understanding now. Anyway, I pray that this upload has enlightened you. I pray that it's given you hope, and I pray that it's given you a new way of wrapping your head around who and what God is. I love you all. God bless.